Hi, I'm Callie King from CRK Training, and welcome to our first Q&A video. So today we're going to answer a question from Maine in Canada, and Maine's question is, my mare, despite being a mature horse, is sometimes so fresh that when I try to warm up, walking and trotting, that she tries to canter. Although I bring her back to a walk and try to keep her calm, she gets very frustrated and wants to go faster, sometimes throwing her head or trying to canter on the spot. That is a great question, Maine. Thank you for asking it. And I picked this one to answer because I think so many people have this problem. A lot of us have horses that are, pretty hot and fractious, can be really easily triggered and get really nervous. And especially those of us that do the more high-speed sports like jumpers, eventing, barrel racing, where we have our horses revved up all the time, they get used to kind of, doing that and being really excited. And, it's not always the easiest to calm them down. And some horses, even if they've never done any of those sports, they still just tend to be very hot. So, I picked Molly for this video because I've worked on a lot of this kind of stuff with her. She's gotten tons better since I got her, but when I got her about 3 years ago, she was a very fractious, very energetic, wouldn't stand still at the mounting block, constantly wanted to go, go, go. And we still have times that we have to work through it. So the first thing that I just wanted to say on this topic is, if your horse comes out and they're really nervous and they're fractious just on the ground, or they won't stand still at the mounting block, that's really your first red flag that you're probably not going to have a quiet, relaxed ride. Most horses, don't normally calm down just when you get on them. If anything, that'll usually escalate them more. So I'd like to just show you a few quick ground exercises that I would do to work on this, and then how I would take that to the mounting block and what I would do under saddle. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to ask her to back up. And she's already really calm coming out here. But just this simple little exercise of trying to keep your feet pretty still and having her back up and come back towards you, just mainly using the rope and your body position, it's really amazing how this can really kind of calm down a more fractious, excitable horse. So I'm going to do it one more time. We're just going to back up. Then when I want her to come towards me, notice I just kind of rock back on my heels a little bit. Might even take a step back. Basically, I'm just relaxing my posture and inviting her to come back up. Next, we're going to move on to lunging. And I think the lunge that I'm going to show you is probably a little bit different than what you're used to. So when a lot of people use lunging before they ride, a hot horse, or a nervous horse, they do it to tire them out. And I think a lot of us know that unless you're going to be out here lunging for like 30 minutes or more, it's probably not going to do that much to tire your horse out. And personally, I don't really want to spend 30 minutes lunging before I ride. So what we do on the lunge is a lot of slow work and a lot of transitions, which is the same as what we're going to do under saddle to get our horses a little bit quieter. So I'm going to ask her to walk out here. So I'm instead using the lunging, instead of to get my horse tired, I'm using it to make sure that my horse is focused on me, which basically means I want their ear and their eye on me, and I want their nose in a little bit. And when I stop moving my feet, girl, I want her to stop and I want her to check in. I'm going to send her out again. So we do a lot of transitions on the lunge line, and then when we do stop, it's a lot of just stop and stand and relax. And I think that really helps the horse relax too, so that they learn that they get to stop and take a little break. Same thing when we take it up to the trot on this little circle. We're just going to trot a few steps, and then we're going to come right back to a walk. And Molly's the type of horse that if I would just put her out here and ask her to trot around and around and around, she would get a lot more excited than she is right now. And a lot of horses are like that. When you start working them at speed, the adrenaline kicks in. And you see, even there, after that little bit of trot work, she started to escalate a little bit. I had to actually remind her to stop instead of her just being focused in when I was stopping. But this is the kind of work you want. It doesn't even have to be on the lunge line. Even if you just do some leading and you kind of practice going forward, stopping and standing. So you want to feel like your horse is relaxed and focused before you start your ride. So here with Molly, I don't feel like I quite have it yet. So when she starts stopping, that's better. As soon as I stop, that's going to be my cue that I'm ready to get on. And you'll start to know your horse. I know her pretty well, so if she's just kind of going on autopilot and just going around that outside of the circle without paying attention to me, then I know I might need to wake her up with another backup and try it again. That was better. And we could really do a whole lunging video, and we'll have one of them for you at some point. But again, what I kind of want to get across with this is just do the slow work, get them calm before you get on. So now we're going to go to the mounting block. And again, if your horse is really fidgety at the mounting block, that's another red flag that they're probably not going to be super quiet when you start riding. And there are a lot of horses that might be really quiet with the groundwork, and as soon as you come over here to introduce the mounting block, they get a little bit more nervous. And that can kind of tell you that they could just have some, nerves issues with the mounting block, or maybe they're not even totally comfortable with you on their back. So this is what I want. I want them to come right over, stand quietly. We take a minute to kind of chill. I want them to stand still as I'm getting on. And then I want to be able to sit up here and just sit here so that they're not moving off as soon as I hop on. I want to be able to pick up my stirrups. And then when I do ask her to walk off, we're just going to walk a few steps, and then we're going to stop and stand again. And it depends on, where your horse is with getting used to all this. If I had a horse that, wasn't standing still at that mounting block, we'd be getting on and off a few times until they could stand quietly and be relaxed as I'm getting on and sitting there before we walk forward. And then we're just going to slowly progress this. Walk forward some more. Stop and stand and relax. And I think you can kind of get the idea of, where this is going and how it progresses. It does take a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of discipline to work through this, this slowly. But if you have one of those nervous energy horses that you really want to be able to just have them relax and take a deep breath, this is how to do it. Lots of slow work, and as they get quieter, that's when you start to increase it. So like here, I would do this as she starts walking forward and stopping and standing quietly. Then we would add a few steps of trot. Then we would make the trot longer and just go forward like that. So this was a great question to answer, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. We're still in June, so it's still question and answer month. If you have any other questions that you would like to see answered in one of our videos, please send an email or leave your question in the blog comments. And of course, if you like this video, please subscribe so that we can send you weekly updates every Friday. Thank you.